I want to bring us back to the text that we began in the beginning today to conclude. And we live in an interesting time right now where we are asking lots of questions about what really matters. And when Jesus is approached by a couple of brothers who are squabbling over possessions and inheritance, Jesus says, watch out and guard your heart, because in times where we are tested, and now is a time like that, we need to guard our heart. And he says, watch out for greed, and goes on to say that a person's life doesn't consist of the abundance of their possessions. And right now, we are being stripped of different things and forced to evaluate our own mortality, and that's exactly where Jesus goes with this. He tells a story that causes us to reflect on our mortality. So we're being forced to ask the question these days, what really matters? My mentor said once that, and he was a pastor, that his calling in life was to help people and walk alongside people to help them live well and to die well. And that in life or in death, to convey to people that in Christ, all will be well. And I want to communicate that message today, that as disheveled and upended as things are, that God is the one who is with us and is leading us where he wants us to go. And contemplating our mortality, I hope that's been a good thing, that it actually clarifies our calling of how we ought to live and where we ought to put our energy at this time. And I think that this squarely lands on the things of today. Now is a time of generosity, to give tons of grace one to another. Everybody needs that now. To open up our hearts and our hands to be more grateful for everything that we do have, and to be able to share, and to be able to just invest in the relationships that God has given us, to nurture them well during this tough time. And then finally, we talked about contentment, that we would seek it in God, and that God would give us the gift of his peace and his contentment during this time. I pray that your week this week will be filled with more ups than downs, and that as ups and downs come, you can be steady, knowing that your hope and your trust is in God, and he sees you and he cares for you. Have a great week.